What's good, y'all? It's your boy A1 Marley. Follow me on everything. IG, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Jermaine Events, aka A1 Marley. Shout out to my nigga Darren Brand. I'm waking and baking with you, bro. Congrats on that BET hosting thing you got. You feel me? But yeah, I'm on a more serious note though. Right now, something that dawned on me, not really dawned on me, but something that's really been like on my mind is the black mentality. The black mentality. Like right now, especially like other than COVID, like all year, all 2020, we've been on this Black Lives Matter. Even before George Floyd, but let me take it back. Like the past 5 years, the Black Lives Matter movement. Ever since like all them other people, Philando Castile, the other dude that was selling cigarettes, all that other stuff. But I see a lot of people like when they see posts, like for instance these two twins I talked about one time, the Hodge twins. When people see posts like that, or the one girl that went viral, that black girl that was talking about all that different stuff, like how the Black Lives Matter movement like really ain't effective and stuff like that. I forgot the girl's name, but everybody know the girl I'm talking about, the black girl that went viral. She's very proper, very educated, but she takes a different stance on it. She takes a different stance on the Black Lives Matter. Like me, anybody that knows me, everybody know I'm pro-black. I might not be taking a whole bunch of action. That's it's hard to stand up for what you believe in action and making shit happen and giving back. I mean, we just gave back to a downtown Greensboro. We threw like a big cookout, invited anybody that wanted to come. We had like 200 plus hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. So I mean, I try to take action, but most of my action is talking, trying to educate, and I'm gonna explain why. Because it's like the black mentality is the main thing. The black mentality is the main thing. It's like Black Lives Matter to me, police brutality matters to me, but when you look at the numbers, when you look at the numbers, what is the biggest threat to our lives? I mean, I get the system. You can't help where you stay at. Every country got problems. We all know about history. We all know that colored people are like they've been trying to control us forever. I mean, we know all this stuff, but keep using, like Denzel Washington said and Morgan Freeman said, racism and colorism is still alive because we talk about it and we keep, like he said, I'm gonna quit calling you a white man and you're gonna quit calling me a black man. A lot of racism starts, because we keep it alive. And it's like, I'm not gonna say that it ain't still, old racism around, KKK and stuff like that is still around, but it's all kinds of hate groups around in every country, What I'm saying is like, I think we've been trained to think that we really can't make it out our problems, or we really can't do nothing as a people, or we gonna always just live here like how we live in here, like that. Like most white people have a comfortable, beautiful life. Most white people, I think. I mean, it's all opinion. The average white person, yeah, they got like a comfortable life. They probably not clocking in their whole life for the next 30, 40 years, working, getting somebody else's company rich. Most likely, somebody in their family done put them on to something. So my thing is this: when you look at history over the past 400 years for us over here in America, it's like, yeah, we done had some fucked up shit. We done been slaves, we done been that. But when you look at where we done got to, from where we done came from, like we got millionaires and shit walking around here. So it's like, to me, we all know what the system is, but we still ain't got no excuse to not make it. We need to quit like putting not everything. You can put some on the system, but okay, you know what the system is, but obviously it's a lot of us still making this. A lot of us still down. It's a lot of us still in poverty, but it's a lot of us still making it. Which brings my bigger point is like Black Lives Matter But does it only matter when some other race is doing something to us? Because it's like, to me, we got to care about ourselves and our lives as a whole. Like, as far as color people, like, color people need to care about their lives as a whole, because we've been taught and trained to be individuals. We've been taught and trained to, care about yourself. We come from poverty, we come from slaves. You was ripped away from your people, stuff like that. And when you make it, everybody's so fucked up. So it's like the average black person probably think they can't even work with the next black person. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't speak for everybody, but areas where I'm from, like low poverty, hood type areas, stuff like that. Like, you're trained to think that black people are against you. You're trying to think like, oh, buddy might rob me. If I help them, like most people probably ain't even comfortable to knock on their next door neighbor's door. You know, the other, like probably like last month, I went and knocked on one of my neighbor's doors, one of my black neighbors, just to borrow a tool to fix something on my car. I went and knocked on his door, and I guess it's because the area we live in. I mean, we live in the hood. You know, he was like, "Oh damn, you about got shot, boy!" Like not being serious, but he was like, "Damn, boy, you can't just do that." I'm like, "Do what? Knock on the door?" I'm like, it was just weird to me that how times are and how we are and how we treat each other is like, damn, we really don't trust each other. So what came with poverty, what came with not knowing nothing, being illiterate, what came with getting your mom and dad stripped away from you, then the crack era, stuff like that, what came with all that type of stuff is a different mentality. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of black people have a certain mentality, especially if you're from a poverty hood area, because all of us ain't from poverty hood areas, which it took me a long time to figure that out. But to me, it's like we can't keep caring about, not, that's the wrong way to say that. Not can't keep caring, but we can't put the focus on police killing us. Like that's what the focus has been put on because that's what sells. The media and everything, the focus that they put on us is like, police are killing all of y'all. When you look at the numbers, and it ain't like that. It ain't like, I don't have numbers. I'm not a statistician. I don't look up. I'm not gonna sit here and talk to y'all like I got every piece of information. But just using my own personal opinion is like this. It's probably like 40% white people in America. It's probably like another 30% black people. 40% white people, 30% black people. That's 70%. The other 30 is like Mexicans, Asians, Hispanics, stuff like that. I mean, the other 20. The other 20%. So it's like 40, 30. No, 30. I'm tripping. My math all fucked up. Ooh, wee. 40, 30, 30. And it might be a little different from that. It might be like 45, 35, and but anyway, you get the point. So we're creeping up on like, is as much, we're creeping up on population wise, it's as many white people as there is black people. It's somewhere roughly around 40% of black people, and I mean white people in America. We're like 35, 40% too. So the other 20 to 30% is other. Chinese, Mexican, Asian, all them grouped in other. So the point I'm making is when it comes to police patrolling stuff, like they're patrolling and killing, I feel like the numbers might be disproportional, but at the same time, the serial killers, the rapists, the people, all that type of stuff. I mean, people who encounter police, what is it for? And if it leads to death, what was it for? It's like most of the time it's probably a black mentality. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say police don't kill. Police do kill unarmed black citizens sometimes for no reason. Sometimes they violate rights, but most of the time it's never a situation where somebody just complied and wanted to fight later in court. It's not like that. It ain't like, you've been trained. Most black people in them times be trained to think like, I gotta hold my own right now because I'm a human. But if somebody got a gun and somebody got all this, that don't mean you just gotta be weaker than them. But at the same time, this ain't your fight. So most of the time, if police doing their job ends up in death, most of the time it's somebody got out of hand. I know every time I done got in encounter with the police, I didn't talk shit. I'm still here. Not saying it couldn't have happened, but most of the time, if you just comply, even if they did you wrong, fight it later. So it's like I feel like police brutality, it does happen, and I'm not saying it don't happen more than white people, but I'm saying white people get killed too. When it comes to getting killed, I'm not saying being stopped by police. I'm not saying being harassed by police, but when it comes to getting killed by police, nah, I can't sit here and think like police are just out here killing black people more than anybody. Like, nah. So it's cool that we march, we protest, we do all we do whenever a police kills somebody, no matter the circumstances. But it's so ironic that a lot of us had a mentality like, free this guy, free that guy. Yeah, that's my homie, free this guy. But at the same time, your homie just broke in like 20 houses. Your homie just was gang banging and shot up I don't know how many people and then did all this type of stuff. And it's like, free him, free him, free him. So that's what I mean by the black mentality. It's like, over all this time, I mean, America ain't perfect. It was founded by a whole bunch of white old people, but each year, which I feel and realize is each generation, you know, has been, a little different. Go on Amazon Prime and watch this movie called I think it's called The Untold Truth or the Horrible Truth. It's something truth. Go on Amazon Prime and look at it. It'll tell you some stats about like stuff you need to know, like how many presidents were slave owners, how many people were in office, and the other offices were slave owners. All kinds of different stats it was talking about. But it's like the point I'm making. We done came a long way. They built this land America for everybody, but we weren't included in everybody at first. They made a lot of amendments. So it was some people that had to see something. Not all people. It was a small percentage of people, But you got to think at the same time, we was getting rights. Women was getting rights. So it's like women weren't, all women, they weren't quite, equal to white men either. So the point I'm making is all them people fought to vote. I never knew how important voting was till I came to college. Like, that's how stuff happens. That's how people get in offices through voting. America is the land of the free. It is for everybody, but we started off as property, but now we not. So my point is, like, there is stuff placed in the system to hold us back, but if we know better than that, and if a lot of us know better than that, then you know not to engage and you know not to do it. Like the crack era hit everybody, right? It broke up homes and everything. I want to take it back to the 60s because they say, I seen a clip where a councilman was talking or somebody in the Senate was talking. They said in the 60s, 80% of homes, 80% of black homes was two-parent homes. 80%. And they said today is the complete opposite. So I guess that's what, 20%? But that's something to think about. Like, you mean to tell me the mentality of us changed that much to where it's like, we cared about family so much to where, it was looked at on the norm that your mom and daddy was together. But then crack hit in the late 70s, 80s, I don't know when it hit. And then now your daddy done went to jail or both your parents and grandparents done strung out, all this and that. So it was a time where our morals and values mattered. And that's what I'm getting at, the black mentality. And it's like I say all the time, and it took for this one dude to really tell me, and I heard Denzel Washington say it too. Yeah, the system matters, but it start with family first. The system, he said it ain't no system affecting no 7-year-old boy, that's his parents. So it's like, you encounter your family first, then the system. So it's like, it's really how you maneuver out here. But what morals and values and stuff have been instilled in us? Like, what type of shit has been instilled in us? What I mean is, like, especially from areas like where I'm from, did you have a mom and dad that showed you how to be a mom and dad? That showed you how to be a girl or a boy, or grow up to be a woman or a man? Did you see real love and you know how to treat a girl, treat a boy? Did you see racism? Did you see people acting crazy? Did you see like young people getting pregnant at 13? Did you see crackheads all over your neighborhood? It depends what you was exposed to and what you was trained. Did you raise yourself? Was you able to watch whatever BET Uncut, whatever at age 11? You know, I'm just naming different stuff to get like a point across. It's like, what morals, values, and shit did you raise yourself? Did your mama talk to you about sex, or did you learn it on your own? You know, your first time seeing drugs. You know, the average black person from areas like I'm from, which I think is a lot of the black population, raised themselves, grew up to be individualistic, grew up like fuck everybody else, fuck these niggas. I mean, we say it every day in our music. Our music is like one of the best ways to show how we think. You know what I'm saying? So not all our music is about trap, rap, fucking, and sex. Not all of it, but that's what they exposing. I mean, that's what they showing a lot of, is that type of music. But that's the way the mind works. I forgot the number they said. It just dawned on me. Like they said, like I think the Juneteenth weekend, one of these weekends that's just passed, it said like 60 people in Chicago got shot. I'm like, what? And I don't think it was like no police shit. I don't know. But that's just weird to me. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, I try to, anybody I'm around, I try to educate and get them to think a certain way. Even though I don't know it all, I don't know it all. And that's just, I might not be thinking the right way. I don't know. But I do think we done overcame a lot, and it's us holding ourselves back. I mean, I for a long time did the blame game in my head. What I mean by the blame game is like, man, my life like this. My life is like this because of white people. I hate all white people. I feel like they don't like me. I feel like I'm not equal to no white person. I feel like when white people see me, they look at me as lower. I used to have that mentality in my head, and it's like, America is for everybody though. If you, you know, America is for everybody. And I'm mixed, you know. I'm black, white, Indian, everything, but I'm black. I'm mixed with a lot, but I'm black. So it's like I look at it like, man, we got to educate each other. I mean, we got to change the way we think, and that's what it really is. I mean, most of us can't even have a family. Most of us got baby mamas. Most of us, you know, our parents and us ain't even, you know, getting no education. We ain't finishing high schools. We not going to colleges. I mean, it's a lot of it. A lot of us are, and it's progressing. I mean, it always have. I don't know stats like that. You know, I'm pretty sure back in the Black Panther times, the '60s and everything, they was going to college. It was the same type of stuff. You had a little bit of everything. So I think it's a balance, but they always just showing the bad when it comes to black people because we do got successful shit going on. We do got good families and stuff. I don't know the percentages, but even in the areas I grew up in, it was still good people who made it out and people who stayed in the hood that still wasn't that statistic. So it's like, you know, I know a lot of people I went to school with, and they went on to be good people, and it's because the choices they made is because you had somebody in your ears, because you had somebody guiding you, you had family, you had support. Versus a lot of us ain't had no family, no support. We raised ourselves, and a lot of people, especially Shelby people, people from my city, they know what it's like. They know what it is to raise yourself. You know, most of the time you probably grew up with your mama, you know, and dad ain't there or whatever, whatever. So you learn in poverty area, you learn how to do it yourself, especially if it was nobody there to really teach you. You know, black people gotta have more families. I mean, a lot of us ain't getting married. But I see why. Look at the mentality. Look how, look how it's portrayed that we think. You know, you got love and hip hop. You know, so people take us as a joke because it looks like we're a joke most of the time. That's what's being seen. You know, they're not keeping that balance. Every culture got good and bad. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see movies about serial killers and stuff like that with white people, but you also see good movies about like stuff. What I'm saying, most of the stuff they show about us is the bad stuff, just like our music. I mean, we got good conscious music. You know, we got stuff like Talib Kweli, you know, J. Cole, you know, coming up in the 90s, you know, you had more of an even balance. You know, you had the rah, rah, fuck 'em up shit too, but you also had Lauryn Hill, you had all these types of balances. And that's what I mean. But now, when you think of black people, when you see black people in the media, on TV, radio, anything, it's looked at like we wild and entertaining. That's it. It's like people take us as a joke because that's what they show a lot of. And I mean, look, we not holding together families. It starts in your family. Like since the '80s and late '90s, I mean, family went out the window. Like I said, we out here raising ourselves, but we killing each other because we hate on each other. I mean, it's the mindset. Nobody's out here educating and training people to have a mentality on how we supposed to be thinking and how what we were supposed to be doing. Because most of us raised ourselves. We went in the streets and saw how the streets treated us, saw how black people in the streets treated us, and stuff like that. But it's just crazy because as I grow up and I get older, and as I look at stuff different and get wiser, it's like we do a lot of stuff to ourselves. We do a lot of stuff to ourselves as black people. Not saying police ain't brutalizing us. Not saying that because they are. I don't know at what rates and how whose rates is higher and the proportions. We do have a system that's fucking us, and it was designed to fuck color color people. They made amendments to that system. They didn't tear that system up and make a new system, but at the same time, they've given us kind of leeway if we had the right mindset. They made the amendments and they made the changes to like, okay, yeah, y'all can vote, women can vote. Okay, if y'all wanted to, y'all get y'all numbers up, y'all can get in offices. If y'all come together, y'all can spend money and have businesses and banks. No, we come from nothing, so it ain't gonna be as easy. And white people, as a whole, do got more businesses and benefited from slavery and all that type of stuff they did, and so they gotta. It ain't about being like in competition with them because they can help us. It just depends. All white people ain't racist, and all police ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all about what you see and what you've been seeing and stuff like that and how it goes. But it's like, first off, like if we spent our money right, if we had families and came together, we could do anything we wanted to do, especially in America because America is money. Yeah, America is racism, but each generation is a new generation, and it's about what you're teaching them. I know a lot of white people I done met in my life. The younger white people, like my ages type white people, aren't racist. A lot of people my age and under aren't racist, and if they are, it's because their parents taught them to be. So that's what I'm saying. As the generations get on, racism is going away, but we keeping it alive. But we so blended. America is a blending pot. Most of us out here ain't just straight black or straight white. Like I said, I got black, white, and Indian in me, but I identify as black. But that's the thing. Is like it's all about our mindset, and that's really the whole point. It's like we need a different mindset as a whole, and it's just real. It's like we care so much about police brutality, but do we care about each other? Do we care about helping each other? And it's changing. I see it. It's getting better. It's improving. Like as I scroll on social media, being black and proud is starting to really get an effect. I'm glad that it's showing it's starting to be a balance because, like I said, every culture, everything has good and bad, and make you got people in the culture that make your culture look bad, but you got people in the culture that make your culture look good. It's just what you show out there, and a lot of our people who make the culture look bad, that's what gets shown a lot. Even though we do got the same amount of people that make the culture look good. That's any culture, black, white, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, any culture, you saw good and bad. But it's about what you got seen mostly. Like, like I said, it's all about teaching a new mindset. I mean, we already came over here and been trained to think for all these years a certain way. But I just remember growing up and how reckless me and people around me was, and it was like, why? It was cool to be bad. It was cool. It was tough and cool and swaggy to get in trouble, and I mean that's part of being a kid too. But I just remember how for us to act the way we acted, that's because the streets was raising us, and you didn't have a mama and dad, you know. But my mama taught me a lot, and I didn't grow up hating, other black people. I didn't think I couldn't work with other black people, but it's like it's real. It's like you wouldn't go to a black owned business on the regular and get your food, get your supplies, get your stuff. Like we don't trust our own people. That's crazy. We go to Walmart's and Food Lines because it's like Well, first off, we ain't got no businesses like that. But every other race shop with their race. We barely shop with our race. And if we do, we gonna complain. Like, hey, why is price so high? Hey, you didn't give me this, give me that. But family, 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 the mentality to me is like family. Like we gotta care about each other. Like a lot of people that I know think of all the think of all the people when I think of all the people in my hometown that got killed. That's why I'm talking about Black Lives. All the people that's from my hometown that's done got killed, none of it was from like police really. I don't think. I'm thinking of like everybody that got killed. Or people, matter of fact, let me take that away, not just my city. Anybody that I know since I've been growing up in like the past, since high schoolish up to now, probably over the last 10 years, anybody that I knew that got killed, it was from another black person. Like all the niggas, all my niggas are distant niggas or a friend of a friend or anybody I know. It was a black person killing them. Why is that? So that's what I'm talking about. Black lives. I'm not talking about. I do feel like police harass us, police brutalize us at times. I do feel like, it might be at a different proportion than other people. But when it comes to killing us, like when it comes to killing, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. But all of it's good. It's like, as long as you're getting the message out there that Black Lives Matter, but still, more of us got to care about more of us, like, to me. Like, a lot of us